I saw photos of progress, y'all, like cleaning out your house.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is insane um, how good it feels to have a bedroom that isn't like literally a horror. So we had horrible fleas. Like I have like 20 flea bites on my feet. I'm super allergic to them. And like, I feel really bad for our cats because this is how they feel all the time.
Mhm.
But I mean, we put
Do you
flea
think? See, because you don't let the cats out, so that means you gave the cats fleas.
I think that like I think that it's so easy, like mice and like other animals, and also animals that hang out near the house can like fleas can just get in from being close to the house, and we have like a ton of possums and raccoons. So I'm pretty sure that's how we get fleas.
Yeah,
because they don't even need to be inside of your house; they just need to be near, and they can just hop in.
Yeah, Tippy gets them through the floorboards.
Still,
yeah.
If someone had to like, go down, if like they were throwing the case at somebody for like how those fleas
right.
happened, like it wouldn't be the cats, it would probably be.
Yeah, I definitely have.
That's
brought
actually how
fleas
they
into my car on my feet.
That's actually how they got John Gotti.
But anyway, so the only way to address this horrible flea problem. So the cats have medicine that we put on them. They don't make flea medicine for humans, which I am, protesting. But
we need a vaccine for fleas.
Because I get them, and I get mad at Jeff because they get on Jeff, but he's not affected by their bites, and they hurt me. Like I get like blisters.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think I'm like really allergic to them. Anyway, so and they've been getting way worse. And so anyway, the only way to address that was to go through my closet, which is also Jeff's shit. Man, we found Jeff's old Game Trader management shirt from when he used to manage a Game Trader.
Hell yeah.
We found a Lego polo that looks like he worked at the Lego store, but he just wanted that polo. And we also found, what else did we find? I don't know. It was good. It was like a treasure trove of stuff that was in my closet. But when I moved in, it was 2016, and I just like threw all my shit from my old apartment in like corners of the house and was like, perfect. And so I haven't been utilizing all this space, but I also had this disease where whenever someone was like, do you want my old clothes? They're trash. I was the only person in the world who'd be like, I would love that trash. Thank you so much. So like all of the clothes I threw away, they were like damaged and like so old that they were see-through, and they weren't even clothes that I had purchased. They were clothes that were already second or third generation clothes, which is why I couldn't donate them. I just threw them in the garbage. I was like, I Marie Kondo'd the shit out of that place. So, I mean, we still have so much shit, but like, it's at a point where
I have definitely been like, man, I love Jeff and Mary Devon's house. It is a shame that
I know now we only have now we only have one room that's like, this room is like the only room that's full of garbage, and it's like all things that we need. Like it's like wedding gifts that we haven't opened because we don't have room for them yet, and like stuff that welcome bags for teachers that are coming in from France and shit, but it's not like actual trash. So Jeff has an office again. We have a bedroom again.
Yeah.
And I just feel this like amazing sense of relief, and I don't dread being in my own house. It's amazing. Anyway, but eventually we're going to rip up the carpets because carpets are stupid and no one likes them.
Last time we all got together in your backyard, and we were like, me and Suzanne were the first to show up. And like while we were texting you to let you know that we were here, Jeff saw us through the window of his office where he was doing his like weather stuff, and it looked like the basement that they hide in Twister from the Twister. It was just like, but it was like fully lit. I mean, it was completely illuminated.
I cut my foot on an old calcified cat turd.
Oh man, that was my first spit take in like 4 years. That's very good.
I like stepped on something and was like, what is that piece of glass? And it was an old sharp turd. And there's not even a litter box in there. One of the cats just was playing soccer with it and just brought it in there, and we didn't even notice because anyway.
Yeah.
Man, that's like a CIA weapon. Like it's sharp and it'll give you sepsis like immediately.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's like
God. Anyway.
the riddle where there's a dead man in the middle of a room and a puddle in the middle of the floor, and you're like, how did he die? It's a perfect crime, the cat turd murder.
Anyway, did you see the picture of it? How much better it looks?
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
insane. I mean, it doesn't even look great.
Yeah.
It just looks like a mediocre room, but it's like you can walk in it.
Yeah.
No
I
turds.
I could tell just you like getting on the Zoom that you feel more comfortable.
I
Yeah.
feel so much more comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
It makes a difference, dude. Like being in this like new house, we like, and there's because you can't get anything now, so like it's not full of more shit than we need.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I just got rid of everything from the old place, and we're here, and it's like, where am I gonna go get anything? Like I go to the grocery store, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, we go to Lowe's a lot, or Jeff does, but that we just get like giant crates that they send home dead soldiers in. Stuff in. We don't get like furniture.
Right. Can you see my plant in the background?
No. Oh yeah. What kind of plant is that?
Soon to be dead one.
Calathea, I think. And then there's another one behind the extremely dusty fan that you can't see. But I just watered them for the first time after having them for like 36 hours, and then there's immediately a huge puddle on my desk because I'm an idiot and I don't know how pots
You didn't know it had holes in it.
I knew it had holes in it, but I was like, they're thirsty, they'll just absorb it. But apparently, if you are murdering your plants with thirst, it actually is harder for them to retain water than that. So I just like a whole bunch of index cards just completely. They look like toilet paper now.
Oh man,
Benjamin, how's your?
You could probably mix in a little bit of like cactus soil in there too. That'll stop that from happening, and then you won't have to put like a giant drain thing underneath it.
What?
Depending on what kind of like plant it is.
What is cactus soil?
I don't know, but it's the like when you like buy soil, they have like different kinds, and like some of it is for like plants that like don't need a bunch of shit.
Right.
I don't really know what I'm talking about with it, but it's worked for me before.
Noted. Thank you. That
sounds right. That seems correct.
Yeah, cactus soil. Tippy's already eaten like half of the other one, but I was careful to make sure that these would not kill her.
Not poisonous.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm on this tip of like trying to make my office not a miserable place to be, and so the plants were step one there.
I need to fill it with more bicycles.
Yeah, right. Oh, Benjamin, speaking of which, are you using that room divider that you said that you were maybe getting rid of?
Not very often.
Okay.
Izzy still puts it up every once in a while because she's like got a little area to make comics.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's exactly what I want.
Sometimes I'm like, I want to watch basketball.
Okay, so you're still using it. All right. I think I might.
Kind of. Not much. Like I could talk to Izzy about it.
Yeah, I mean, no worries. I could just get my own. I was just curious because I think I'm gonna close off that desk space with one of those, and that way it'll be like a little hole that I climb into, like a mole.
I love stuff like that. Yeah. I always have dreams that I have a ton of nooks.
Go on. Tell me about these nook dreams.
Like little things, like little areas, like closets. I don't know. Like I love houses that have like a little window and a bench on the window, and you can just like hide there, or something, or like booths that have like a curtain,
completely.
So you're like in the same room as someone, but in a different place. I don't know.
Did you ever visit my dorm room in East Laville?
No.
Are you familiar with those Laville closets that are like huge and they're like walk-in closets? It's like there's like a sink outside of it and then a big ass closet. Anyway, no. I stole a like a school desk, like a high school desk, and put it in there, and then got a little Chinese lantern that I hung over the curtain rod thing. What are those called? The hanger rod.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And anyway, and that was because I hated my roommate. He was literally a furry, and he tried to.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
yeah.
go on.
No, I mean that's all I knew. I didn't see him in action. But
Did you see his suit?
no, I saw his desktop background, which was an anthropomorphized wolf that was like pretty buff, and like his his Windows profile was like wolf dude guy, something along those lines. And he like tried to sell me stolen art supplies one time. I don't know. He's like I stole these from my girlfriend's house. And I was like, okay, you're weird. Anyway, so I would just lock myself in the closet, and that's where I would hang out, which was pretty depressing. I wonder why I was depressed. Yeah.
Maybe it's because you hung out in like a 3x4 windowless room all the time.
Yeah, maybe so. Benjamin, how's your weightlifting setup?
It's good. I physically hurt a lot. Not really from the those the exercises I'm supposed to be doing,
right.
But from all the other shit I'm doing, because I'm like, I want to get buff fast.
Oh yeah,
which is really stupid.
It's really stupid. Is it muscle pain or is it like joint and tendon pain?
It's muscle pain.
Okay, good. That's
for
fine.
Sure. It's muscle pain, and then I think I sort of overextended something like my back, right behind my shoulder.
Doing what? Do you remember?
I don't know. It could have been anything. I'm like, okay, so I don't know how to do any exercises. I guess I'll just try a handstand.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's like when I was like, I'm tired of these CrossFit workouts. I'm going to look up workouts online. And then I did one, and the first workout was pike push-ups, and I immediately broke my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that generally any workout that you find in like a men's magazine or basically workouts, people needlessly complicate their workouts to justify the fact that they're not just being bench, squat, deadlift, whatever.
So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that
5x5.
Fuck it, yeah, 5x5.
Mm-hmm.
Every swole guy that is I know everything about working out, tells you to do exactly that.
Mm-hmm.
But you start out with these little tiny honestly emasculating levels of no weight to everything.
Are you doing strong lifts?
Yeah,
I know what you're talking. I mean, I will say
it's embarrassing to have no weight on a bar and be yeah, I'm working out.
I will say, so, dude, that only lasts a month because it's linear progression. Savor that, because you will be working out for 2 hours and you'll want to throw up the whole time soon enough. It's use it to nail down your form or whatever. Because I felt the same way and I was in a rush. And then it's just every fucking week you're putting 10 pounds on your deadlift, 5 pounds on. It's like. If you did that for a year without deloading once, you would be you would be squatting 500 pounds. No one can improve that fast. So it's trust.
I know, but I mean, I'm fully aware of that.
Yeah.
It's just at the beginning, it's so boring.
Yeah.
And I feel less strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's if it was free weights and they were here, try and lift up these books. Can you do that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Probably can't even read them, you fucking weak idiot.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's the only thing I'm doing besides DSA now.
Working out your Zoom rage.
You cut out.
I said, are you working out your Zoom rage on the barbell?
Yeah, I mean, it's less Zoom rage, more just I don't like looking at a screen for that long.
Yeah.
But hey, what else? What else are you gonna do?
MD, what are you drawing?
Oh, just.
I know you're drawing.
Huh?
I know you stay drawing.
I do. Man, I just was making fun of old people who talk like young people. Although I feel like saying stay, that's one of those things that's like, it's definitely AAVE, but it's like so common at this point that it's like barely, you know what I mean?
I mean,
yeah.
Dead ass.
Yeah, dead ass. No cap.
No cap.
But, and it also just like makes sense. Like,
yep.
Anyway.
This is the it do be like that conversation all over again. I'm pro it do be like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think that everyone who's saying that white people need to stop using AAVE is correct, but I also think that
white people just need to shut the fuck up.
But I also think that in the South, there's a lot of that like wouldn't be considered cringy in normal conversation, regardless of who you were talking to, because it's just like a natural part of like, I don't know. Like, I guess, well, y'all is just Southern.
But that boundary between American Standard and AAVE is so fucking permeable, and it's like cool. The word "cool" meaning like good used to be exclusively AAVE, and it permeated. So I basically think that like white people using AAVE is like not just fine but inevitable. But like a white person shouldn't write like Derek's Guide to Being Cool and then like sell a glossary or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah, they shouldn't. And like that there is a difference. Yeah.
People say y'all everywhere.
Yeah.
Like maybe that was a Southern thing in like 1915,
right.
But I don't think I've ever met a person who like doesn't use it every once in a while.
See, I've heard you
or
say
they
that,
just say you guys a lot. Like,
yeah, people,
I grew up around people.
There's like a different
in
version.
Minnesota.
Yeah,
like the most northern place except for like Alaska, and everyone says y'all.
Yeah, but a lot of like transplants make fun of people for saying y'all. Like they.
Yeah, I don't get that.
So it's like. I think that I believe you, but I also think that there are parts in the country where people don't say it.
No, like, for sure. I mean, and it has like. Moved.
I don't think it's necessarily north and south. I don't think it's that easy, but
I think it has moved north, and the mechanism is, you know, like Southern people in general saying it, and then like y'all reaching the like global or at least American monoculture through like Black culture. And then it gets appropriated by like white gay men, and then like you know what I mean, like or whatever the route is.
That's how the flowchart usually works for language, but with that one, I'm like, this happened like a century ago.
Yeah, it did happen so long ago. Like it's something.
There's no word for like a bunch of you,
except for yins, which is insane.
Yins?
Yeah.
That feels, I don't feel comfortable saying that. I don't even know who I'm offending, but that feels like there's a specific group that I shouldn't call yins.
I didn't know that was a word. Like, I didn't know. Isn't that like the Pittsburgh y'all?
Something like that. It's definitely a Pennsylvania thing. I don't know if it's Pittsburgh or Philly.
Well, no, I think because Isaac's from Pittsburgh, and he talks about like his friends that have like yins accents.
Yeah.
Interesting. So anyway, it's in that region.
Yeah.
But that's a what? Like, can you imagine just saying that to people? I don't know.
It's all about balance. You got yins, you got yangs. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Anyway, I know we probably sound disgusting being three white people determining what is like okay or not, but it's just been on Twitter a lot, which is why we're talking about it. And I don't think that, I definitely understand why it was infuriating for the kombucha girl. Like the reason people are so angry is that this woman who has been profiting, like she's an online creator who is making money.
Right.
So she was saying, she went on this rant and did it in this like tone that she was being really nuanced and seeing both sides kind of thing, and was like, it's just become online culture and these online communities talk like this, and talked about like the difference between being a creator and a normal person. But it kind of seemed like she was saying as a creator you can use it more. It was weird. I was like, I thought that if you're profiting off of it, it's like just a totally different I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, that word creator is like, it's so fucking gross.
I mean,
Like,
honestly,
if you do anything, you're a creator. Like,
I mean, if you have
or
100 million
I am
followers,
a creative. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know. I
the
hate
same
the
thing
word.
with like empath. Like, there are so many designations for like
Curator is
just
another one.
things that anybody can do and occasionally does in some way.
Yeah.
That are like, oh, okay, you get to just identify. Like, empath is that one's been. I don't know. It's like
Creator.
you have human emotions, so
Yeah.
you are a thing from Star Trek. Like, that is a thing
Right.
from Star Trek.
Right.
It bothers you when
Shut the
people are
fuck up.
sad.
Mm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I mean, I think
I
empath
feel
is,
your anger. It's like, yeah, because I'm yelling at you.
right. No, I absolutely think that that's disgusting, and I don't think, I get why creator. I know it's cringy, but I also think that it's like distinguishing people that are just like online, regardless of popularity, versus people that make money off of their content online.
Right.
I mean, that's like
Blue checks and trash accounts. I thought we already had words for that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the genre of the content creator kind of emerged with media platforms that BRB.
Okay, whoa.
They're here for
Whoever's
the
knocking on Michael's door.
Yeah, some people don't know how to friendly knock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to do a little jingle.
Yeah. Who is that?
What if we just saw Michael get stabbed?
Oh, he got a package.
I got a package. It's Michael's dick. Do you have like a specific knock you do to like not do like pop knock shit?
No,
that man
I don't
cannot.
knock a lot. I mostly text and say I'm outside.
What are we talking about?
Friendly knocking. Like,
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're delivering shit completely.
Yeah,
makes
for
sense.
some reason it felt like someone was like, I don't know, that felt personal. Also, I forgot that people deliver stuff on Sundays.
Yeah. It was an aggro knock. I like pizza guys, people of pizza. Pizza delivery people. Pizza delivery people knock really hard here in a way that they've never knocked anywhere else I've ever lived, and it's because they're terrified for their lives because their job is more dangerous than like being a firefighter.
Yeah.
And like sometimes they won't even come out of the car. Most of the time they won't even come out of the car until I'm outside.
You talking about COVID?
No, I'm talking about getting robbed as a pizza
you're
person.
Right. You're right.
But anyway, what I was
I
saying.
think I've told this story before.
I forgot how things used to be dangerous.
The pizza place I used to work at, it was a dude. He was like the oldest brother. It was a family thing, so he didn't really work there anymore. But he was out delivering pizza. This was before I worked there, and he got robbed. And he like was trying to drive away, and they shot at the car, and it hit him in the head, and he kept trying to deliver pizzas.
Jesus
Holy
Christ.
He got
shit.
shot in the head and was like, people need pepperoni.
Did he die?
No, I mean, like, I don't know how you get shot in the head and
It
not
like
die.
grazed. It didn't penetrate his skull. It just like went like.
No, but I mean, so he got back to the pizza shop he hadn't told anyone, and he got back to the pizza shop, and he's just bleeding from the head. And he's like, all right, what's the next round of deliveries? And they're like, what happened to your head? He's like, I got shot in it. And he kept trying to deliver pizzas. People were like, no, you can't.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it's like, isn't it the most dangerous?
Yeah.
Most dangerous game?
It is the most dangerous game.
And that's measured by how many people die
on the job.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, what do? You walk around with a shitload of cash,
Yeah.
and people can
And you're
people can.
driving.
It's like a bank made of like spaghetti, and you can just order it to your house. Where it's
Yeah.
like, this
Man,
this Chase branch made of spaghetti on wheels coming to my house. Like, it's a soft target for sure.
Yeah, this guy that's for sure by himself.
Right.
Did I ever tell y'all about the time that I ordered? I know I tweeted about this, but I ordered Reginelli's because it's like 2 blocks away from my work, and it was bad weather. But like it was at the beginning of last year when work was like super crazy, and I didn't have food all day. I ordered a pizza for myself, and I ran down to meet the delivery guy. And he called me, was like, I'm here, and we're in an office building near the school. So anyway, I ran down and I grabbed what I forgot what it cost, but I grabbed what I thought was a lot more money because I was like going to give him a fat tip, but I accidentally grabbed a $10 bill and it was like a $12 pizza.
Oh, no.
And then I handed that to him and was like, keep the change. And then I walked back upstairs, and then he called me and was like, ma'am, you did not give me enough money. And I had to run down and give him more money because I think I thought I had given him a 20 for like a $12 pizza because it was like rainy.
Yeah.
And I gave him $10 for a $12 pizza, and then was very cockily like, keep the change, playboy. And he had man. That was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever done. But he did believe me that it was an accident.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he didn't think you were doing a Jedi mind trick on him.
No, he was like extremely confused.
Call me. Keep the change and call me. Yeah. Anyway, content creators.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so the reason I was thinking of this, and also I tweeted that like old people just need to type and talk like old people because it's so much less embarrassing to just talk like an old person, because someone tweeted a text that she got from the Biden campaign that with bad and bougie in it.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Wait,
injected into my veins.
So bad. Let me see if I can find it. It's in my likes. Hold on. It's
settle for Biden. No, Cupid shuffle for Biden. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So Carmen in NY tweeted it. This, I'm embarrassed for them, to be honest. And it says, hi, Carmen, this is Martha with Biden 2020. Are you ready for a president who's bad and bougie with progressive values? Donate today. And I think it's real.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm voting for Biden now. I wasn't going to. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's perfectly in the window of like recent enough that you kind of get why they tried it.
Yeah.
And like long enough ago that you're like, it's inexcusable that they tried it.
Right.
It's insane.
Like it's not as bad as if they would have been like, are you ready to bust a move?
Right.
Like you can find him in the club.
Yeah.
See, I feel like at least bust a move is so old that it's almost something
for
an old person would naturally say.
I mean, it is.
Right.
That's the only people who say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I just wish old people would just talk like old people, because that's, people will make fun of it, but it's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But like when old people try to sound like young people, it's so gross and it's so cringy.
Define old.
I mean, anyone who's not like, you kind of become an old person. Like we're young in terms of like, we have a while more to live, but like, we're not the cool generation anymore. We're not dictating what is pop culture anymore.
Right.
So like, I feel like anyone who's over 25 is kind of like almost an old, once you're 30, you're like out of the realm of where you like kind of understand and are adjacent to what is actually cool. But like, it would be weird if we talked like 20-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So So I feel like obviously we're not old, and I hate it when 30-year-olds act like they're so old. But like in terms of pop culture, and like we are.
Yeah. I think the AAV conversation is extremely stupid, and I basically think that it is a matter of degree, and there's like stuff that permeates completely through just like ambient appropriation that's like not appropriative to use, if that makes sense. And then there's like going out of your way. I think
it's like if you do it on purpose or not. Like,
right.
If you start talking,
if your homepage is urbandictionary.com, word of the day,
Yeah, but like a lot of white women do that. I mean, I feel like I probably used to do that a lot more than I do. But like, I mean, I feel like a lot of I'm sure white guys do it too, but I don't know. White women and white gay guys are probably the biggest offenders of this. Like, I definitely cringe when I hear, and white women love to do it around black women.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly horrific, but it's like a dipping their toes into this water to see if it works. And inevitably, as soon as they do it, they realize it didn't work. But like, I've been in like meetings where a white woman will like, you know, I don't know. It's racist. It's racist, but there's certain words that like you're right. There's certain words that like have become, you know, just normal.
I mean, there's like,
it rocks when you see someone dip their toes into something and just drown.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
You dipped your face into it.
Man, I used to work. Remember when I used to work for that place where I was like an ambassador of employment? It was like anyway. I used to work for this tech/recruiting company, and I really liked the lady that started it. And even though she's like a mega church Christian,
mm-hmm.
but I like her family. She's really nice. She is like really non-judgmental and was like fine with my Twitter, fine with who I was, fine with comedy. But and she paid me $12 an hour to work like 15 hours a week in the mornings. And and it was like, anyway, so we would meet in offices sometimes and act like our company wasn't failing. And one of the other women that briefly worked there, who was also friends with my boss, and my boss was a black woman, and this other woman, because the lady who owned the company hired people that she knew because she paid us through Google Wallet. Anyway, so long story short, we were in a meeting and we were talking about weight like women do.
Mm-hmm.
It was like all women. And then this white woman who was not even like a quote unquote thick person was describing herself that way because she has an ass that is like just in existence. Like it's not like it's discernible as an ass, but it's not like a big ass.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a fine ass, but like she's one of the many white women that thinks that she is absolutely stacked because she does not have a flat ass. And she said that the brothers liked it.
Oh yes.
It was really, really, really bad.
So good,
and
dude.
The boss was like, okay, well, like she really wanted to be like, that's so racist, but we just like moved on.
Okay, so
it was really horrible.
I think I finally figured out what I think, which is that humans unconsciously imitate other humans consciously, like constantly, all the time,
yes.
Right? And I think that anything that permeates through that mechanism is like not racist or appropriative. That's just how culture works. And then, but then there's like, and then there's like going out of your way to say
the brothers.
Well, I mean, that's a whole different, that's like pandering. That's like some kind of weird fucking.
It was really bad.
But like, I think but where it gets interesting is like when people start unconsciously imitating people who did appropriate the thing in the first place, right? Then it gets kind of, it's just shades of gray, baby. It's not black and white, you know? But like fucking everyone everyone who speaks English uses AAV. Donald Trump talks about his haters constantly, right? Yeah. So it's like, and that's not, and he's not like, how can I get me some of this good culture, you know? Like, I don't know, how can I get me some clout?
Yeah, by the time it gets to politicians, like they don't even know the origin. Right. But I can also understand why, like, I think a lot of leftists make fun of the appropriation conversation and oversimplify it to say that like we're advocating for segregation in like language and like, I'm not saying you're doing this. I think that I think the way you explained it actually is like, I completely agree with, and I think most people probably would be like, yes, that makes sense. But like, I also think that a lot of people oversimplify it and say that anyone who complains about appropriation is like I mean, I think that there is something that I think white people do feel like they get to take. And I think that like when that even happens in people's like language and culture that only exists because they were oppressed by white people in the first place. Like, I mean, well, I don't want to say that like all black culture only exists because of oppression, but a lot of like any culture that's like not the, you know, oppressing culture is affected by that.
Right.
Anyway, I get why it's infuriating for that to be stolen and profited off of by even for clout or money. Yeah.
For clout or money, that's a good. That'd be a good movie.
Like, I get why it's infuriating. So, and I think most people that I've seen upset about it aren't talking about someone saying haters, you know. Like, they're talking about people saying child. Like, white women shouldn't say child.
No, they should not.
But they are doing that. Like, that's literally one of the examples.
Right.
That's being, yeah.
I mean.
Oh, man, I wish I wouldn't laugh so hard every time you do one of these examples. But it's so funny.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. Every once in a while, a screenshot will come across my timeline. That's just like a white girl just turning it up to fucking 11, just trying to use everything that she has ever seen on Bravo. And
it's really bad.
Yeah.
Did y'all see that lightning, or is that?
No, I'm hearing some thunder, but
I saw a little flash.
It was either thunder or it was the delivery guy two blocks away. Yeah.
So what's the situation with school now?
Lise is not going back until, I don't know if this is because of New Orleans public schools, but Lise released something saying they're not going back till at least October.
Awesome.
But I mean, we are still like, I don't have to go to work because I got a COVID test because I felt sick on Friday, but I feel like better than I felt in weeks today and yesterday. Like, I was able to work out yesterday for the first time in weeks without feeling like I was dying. Anyway, but I got a COVID test because I had a sore throat and my temperature was like almost 100. And so I contacted my doctor and she was like, yeah, you should go get a COVID test. So I went to the drive-through test it's a bunch of soldiers. It's by UNO and it's a bunch of soldiers and they're all like 20 years old. And I'm sorry, they're adorable. Like it's all these adorable 20-year-old guys. A tent flipped over and it took them 30 minutes to get the tent upright again.
Dude, that video you posted, you just put it to it's just like.
Describe it.
There's like 12 guys that just can't figure out.
It weighs a pound. It weighs 1 pound and all of their muscles are bigger than my head. And they were like, well, I don't know. I guess we just have to sit on the tent now. Like
that's why we never got the job done in Afghanistan.
They were so, I understand that I'm infantilizing soldiers and they're just like globe cops. But I also think that like, there's a few distinctions. Obviously, like
they're babies. I mean, that's another tragic part of it. It's like, you're like, it's really easy to be like, fuck them. And like, if I was in another country, I would obviously be like, it would be beyond fuck them. It would be like, I'm going to figure out everything I can do to murder as many of these people as possible. Yeah. Because they're destroying my entire way of life. Right. But like, you know, from like a comfortable vantage point in America, if you're talking about soldiers, you're talking about children. You're talking about people that it would be creepy to have sex with.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
but like I was waiting with my mask on in my car because like you go through one station, they put like shoe polish on your car to say like, okay, she's gotten her voucher. Because you have to like sign up online and be like, I have these symptoms and I had enough symptoms to qualify for a test. And so you go through different stations. It's really well laid out. If you have COVID symptoms, I'd recommend going to the UNO Lakefront Arena.
Okay. So you pull up, you roll down the window, they cover your face in shoe polish. Go on.
I was trying so hard not to say something like that.
But it's like, I don't know if it's shoe polish, but it's like car chalk. Like it doesn't hurt your car. Anyway, so
they put shoe polish on people who have a problematic joke history.
That's right.
Anyway, so I roll. So they're like, ma'am. And I was like, oh man, there's a problem. So I rolled down my car. They're like, how do you say your last name? And I had to like spell it. I was like, Doopwee is how you say it. And then they all looked at each other, and one of them was like, I told you. And then they were like, is it French or Italian? And I was like, it's French. And they were like, ha, I was right. I was like, why are y'all so cute? They were like little children, but they're going to go murder people.
They're literally children, yeah.
I know, but they're adorable. But anyway, so then I get to the actual medical people, and you just wipe a Q-tip around your nose. You don't have to have it all the way up this time.
That rocks.
You do it in your own nostril, and then you do your own test.
Interesting.
So
they give you like a little beaker and like they give you a Bunsen burner and a beaker, and you.
That's what I did in Minnesota. It was at a CVS drive-through, and I like rolled up, and they were like, "You do it," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
But I am fully isolating. I'm not even walking around the neighborhood.
Damn.
So,
well, yeah.
I mean, partially, I don't think even if I do have COVID, I think if I was wearing a mask, I wouldn't give anyone COVID walking around the neighborhood. But I also, the optics, since I'm like demanding to work from home and getting a doctor's note to do so, and I see people in City Park all the time, the optics are not good if I'm running. Although, I mean, a lot of people have one day of COVID symptoms and then feel fine. So that's why I'm still, even though I feel absolutely fine, that's why I'm still treating myself like I may have COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, we should all still be doing that. Nothing has changed. Like, we should just, that was the advice that people like were like, I can do that for 2 weeks. I can act like I'm sick for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I like, for instance, would be expected to go to work if I like, there's changes for me.
Yeah, I mean, but why? Why do you got to go to work?
Yeah, why do you have to go to work?
Because we have to get, I'm kind of annoyed with y'all, but I understand it's just because y'all don't understand as much how schools work, but there's so much work that goes into getting school ready, even virtual school. Like there's 600 Chromebooks that need to get logged and unpackaged and put in cases. There's also like a ton of testing that needs to happen. So like, even though there's like no in-person school, there's still going to be groups of like, there's still going to be standardized testing that's going to happen in person that I'm expected to like, if I have a negative COVID result, I can help with that because it'll be like August 17th.
Can I ask you something? Mm-hmm. Why can't you do that online? Why can't you just log?
Standardized testing?
Why can't you just log on and do it on internet?
What do you mean?
Why can't you log on and do it on internet? I'm just being difficult. Okay. I can see the rage in your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, it's not just COVID. People also will be like, why do you have to work when kids aren't physically in your eyesight? You know what I mean? It's like, there's so much fucking work that goes into a school.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not saying why do you have to work? It's just.
Yeah, I mean.
Also, they should cancel standardized testing.
Right.
Like, it's insane. Like, especially like how much this is going to widen the gap between like people who have the infrastructure to like have their kids learn in a completely fucked environment.
But, okay.
And then the people who don't, like, it's gonna make such a bigger gap between like a system that's already fucked that like rewards some families and punishes other families, and schools too, because like this is still gonna be tied to funding,
right?
And then like schools that can't do this because like the whole, like all the parents of those schools like are in fucked situations and can't be full-time teachers. Like, I
agree with you.
They shouldn't have this shit in the first place, but it's just one of those, like, it's just making it more obvious, like, who is going to get like hurt by this,
right? And
who's going to be hurt by this is poor kids. Like, poor kids are going to be fucked if they have an actual like academic year this year, and then like, or however long this lasts, 5 years, like, just cancels, like, do whatever you can to keep kids occupied. Schools can still exist because there's some infrastructure there to like help communities in some ways, but it shouldn't be tied to like that person's future financial well-being.
I mean,
like, standing in society.
I mean, there's a lot. I agree about testing, but I also understand why schools aren't just like, you know what, we're going to cancel school as we know it. We're not going to have grades anymore. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow in like 4 months.
Right.
Like,
I mean, they should. I don't think.
I mean,
it's
also
not
it's
hard
so hard
for me. Like, that it's the obvious choice. Like, I don't see how you could argue against that.
Why isn't Benjamin the superintendent?
I mean, I feel like I understand.
There's no world where that's good for poor kids. Like, it's just horrible for poor kids.
Okay, well, regardless, we're doing virtual learning, and like even if we had no standardized testing, we still like have to have people physically getting things ready to give devices to kids for virtual learning.
Right.
No, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. There's still infrastructure for schools to like do stuff.
I agree that nothing that happens right now should be connected to kids' future successes, but I think that kids need to like have like they're still in their grade with their class for their own sanity. Like I think that they need that. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, I think.
Holy shit!
What happened?
I think it's about to be, because I saw the flash over here, but I saw you react to it first. Oh, whoa. There it is for me.
Holy shit!
That
was like in my. Did you see it on Zoom?
I saw it on Zoom and I felt it over here, but I heard it here afterwards.
Holy shit!
Oh, here it is. I just got it here. That's crazy.
Hey, it's like.
That's so weird. It should not take that long to get here. That was very strange.
I think that we agree. I just think that kids should feel like they're still in school, just virtually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see the lightning strike because I was on Urban Dictionary looking for something annoying to say when you stop talking. But yeah, man, virtual learning just hits different. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Man, that like made me jump.
Bust?
But yeah, it made me bust. But like I already see parents bitching about the fact that we're not back in school, right now. And these are not like, I keep saying this, but everyone on Twitter is a communist, even like the soccer moms. They're like, yeah. Even the soccer moms I follow on Twitter are almost communist compared to like most people that I like interact with in real life. And most people, even like the nice liberal parents, are just so sad that their kids can't go to in-person school. And most of these motherfuckers work from home. And I get that it's hard, but I also am like, so you're not even being forced to go work at Target, like or like a restaurant, like you can do this. Like you don't like it. And like, yeah, you can do it though. You physically can do it. You're not going to die or be kicked out of your home. But I don't know.
It's really hard. And it's like, I don't have to make that sacrifice, but it's like, this isn't the solution, but it's clearly a cultural problem where like, we just have no sense of collective sacrifice for anything. There's no we're never doing anything. It's like, I'm fucked by this. I'm fucked.
Right.
And like, it's true because there's no infrastructure. There's no like community in place, but it's just, you're just telling a bunch of parents, like you're on your own.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no purpose to that because people don't feel like, yes, I am a parent. My family's well-being is connected to your family's well-being. There's none of that.
Yeah. I mean, I tweeted about this the other day. I got really mad because a billionaire who will remain nameless was advocating for reopening schools for young kids or whatever. But I got really, really pissed off. And it's like the only reason why like anyone is talking about reopening schools is because either they're rich as shit and they don't want wealth redistributed, or they just can't imagine, like it's completely inconceivable to them that we could like pay people to stay home with their kids until this is all over. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like that to me, when like the nice liberal parents are like, I mean, I get it that like a lot of white liberals are like, oh, like what is this going to do to my child developmentally that he's going to like whatever. But I think primarily it is, I need someone to take care of my kids because I can't do it or don't want to. And it just doesn't occur to them that like social programs are a possibility.
Right.
Yeah.
And that like, Yeah, and I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people don't even know what to ask for. It's like just ask for like just demand money.
Yeah.
Like
A
just
lot of these people don't need fucking money, and that's why they want their kids. Like, there's two.
well, but I mean, they should be just paid to just take care of their kids, now.
Right.
And you should just be paid to not kill people by going outside. Like,
but people that can work from home don't want to lose their careers. I mean, these are like lawyers and stuff, or like academic people that might be doing virtual classes or might be going back in person or whatever, but being able to still like be at home more than someone who has a service industry or like, you know, public facing job.
right. But at least give everyone the same option.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree. But like, I'm in a position where like we're financially like, you know, worst case scenario, Jeff and I both lost our jobs, or Jeff lost his job and I quit my job because I don't want to be murdered. And I'm like, you know, high risk person. And like, the stakes for me because of health issues have gotten a lot higher. And so like the idea of quitting is becoming more and more possible to me, like depending on what I'm asked to do. But like, I also have to think about like long term, not just like we'd be fine for a while, which most people wouldn't. We would be fine for a while. Like even if Jeff got fired, we have like enough family support and enough saved that like we could be okay for like a year. But then like I don't think I could get another job like the one I have, because I have this job from institutional advancement and not from my qualifications. So like I am thinking about, and I think a lot of people are in that boat where they're thinking about their careers, not just their paychecks. And I'm not defending them. I'm just saying that like it is, yeah, I mean, I definitely think and the reason they're thinking that way is because it's not just because they love their career so much. It's because their careers enable them to live comfortably, which is hard to achieve. And when you get a taste of what it's like to like not be afraid of everything that you spend and like kind of be able to go to the grocery store and buy a bunch of bullshit, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I think that's exactly it. Is like, there's just, even if it's not that big of a line, there's like a huge like line of people who have always been fucked and like basically have nothing to lose because like they've been shat on their entire lives.
Yeah.
And people who have like a little like are like one step above that are like, I don't want to go back to the the scary place.
Yeah, I mean, and
because the scary place sucks. Like, yeah,
but even people who like have ascended through the middle class to the upper middle class, like basically there's like you ascend and there's a period of time where you're happy, like your life has changed and you're like, this is awesome, and then slowly you take it for granted. And once you're at the point of taking your lifestyle for granted, going back feels like dying, no matter where you're going back to.
Yeah.
Like this is why, I mean, I've cited this before, but this is why in 1929 when the stock market crashed, fucking millionaires who became like fewer millionaires just like jumped out the fucking window. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, but also it's because any job that you're going to get after you lose your cushy job is going to be more dangerous, and you're going to be more likely to get COVID because no one can get a fucking job right now.
Right.
So like there's a lot of considerations that are different from just pure economic recession minus a virus.
Yeah. I mean, there's like, you know, New Orleans is particularly like a service industry economy or whatever, and that's gone probably forever in a lot of ways. So people are fucked here. But that's pretty true everywhere. Is that like there's no factory jobs. Like if you don't have one of these like professional jobs where you're either like a teacher or a nurse who does like an actual thing, like you have like a Michael like made up job.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the
no disagreement here. Yeah.
Besides that, then there's like the people who just wait on everyone.
Yeah.
And those jobs are gone across the whole country. There's nothing in place. There's no Green New Deal. There's no jobs.
Yeah.
No jobs, no cash, no hope.
Yeah. I mean, there has to, like, I wonder if it's to the point where even the, like, corporatist, evil, neoliberal, Democrat, Republican, whoever is in charge, if eventually they're just gonna have to, like, do a jobs program. Because, if they're just gonna be like, you know what, everyone's the cops.
Right.
Because that's, like, the only job you can get is being the cops.
Yeah, I mean, I think instead of, like, a Green New Deal, they're going to be like, I think they would rather be like, everyone's a soldier or everyone's a cop.
Everyone frack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally was looking into I was looking into becoming a firefighter. Sorry to steal your fire, Benjamin. But in New Orleans, they're really looking for women firefighters.
Do it.
And it's apparently you can be super old and do it. It just takes forever to, like, my mom would kill her. My mom would commit seppuku if I became a firefighter. She almost cried when I said I wanted to go to barber school.
Yeah.
It was just too much of a working class job for her.
What would she use instead of a katana to commit Carrie?
She would use, man, my mom is so sweet. I feel so bad for making fun of her. She's like the kindest, and she's also donating to, like, every Democrat running against a Republican right now. She's like, yeah, she's like,
that's a lot.
I know, not everyone, but she keeps emailing me being like, what do you know about the mayor from Shreveport? I think I'm going to donate to him. So she's doing what she can.
Right.
Like, she's really changed, and she is, like, way more afraid of fascism than she detests socialism now.
She should do street medic training.
Huh?
She should do street medic training.
Yeah, she's too afraid to go outside. My mom.
She could just make the Molotov cocktails out of empty wine bottles, and then, yeah.
Okay, so she's been making hummingbirds out of clay, so we could do something like a weapon. We could figure that out. They have sharp beaks.
Yes.
Dude, fuck that. Just get old cat turds.
Anyway, my mom would probably, her weapon would be, what would it be? I don't know. She really loves gardening. She's not like, she's an old rich lady, but she's not like one of the uptown, like, she's not like a high society lady. Mm-hmm. She, even before this, she didn't really leave the house. She like loves
my mom would absolutely, I don't know what her particular weapon would be, but it would definitely be an up close one. Mm-hmm. Like, she would have to see the life leave someone's eyes. You know?
We're still talking about. I thought we were still talking about how these people would kill themselves if MD became a firefighter. No.
Oh, I thought you were saying what's the, like, uptown white woman equivalent of a sword?
No. It's like, you use a katana to disembowel yourself after you've dishonored your family or whatever.
My mom has a gun. She would probably just shoot herself with her gun.
That's not.
I take after
fancy.
my mom.
That doesn't involve matcha.
I know. Yeah, my mom has a .357 Magnum. It's a Dirty Harry gun.
How the fuck?
But I think it's in storage.
Does she?
I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back.
That's a big gun.
She dated a cop.
That's
she got it when she was in college.
But has she fired it?
Only at a range when she was, like, in her 20s.
I'm impressed. That would knock me over, probably. Just the recoil.
Yeah, and she was like, she loves to say, I was 106 pounds.
Shooting a 40-pound gun.
Yeah, she was, and it had hollow point bullets.
Damn.
But she never shot someone with it. She did almost murder my aunt with it, though, because my aunt was playing an April Fool's prank on her and snuck in through the alleyway to my house when I was a baby.
Hell yeah.
And my mom came out the door like this with her huge gun. And my aunt was like, don't shoot.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah. I don't think that gun control is necessary as long as we outlaw April Fool's Day. I think that would take some of the danger out of it.
Man, I have so many traumatizing, like, pranks involving bathtubs. Like, another time
involving bathtubs?
Yeah, another April Fool's prank was my aunt put a turtle with a bunch of crickets in the bathtub. I don't know why that was funny.
I mean, it sounds funny to me, but not because it's, like, structured like a joke, just because crickets and a turtle in a bathtub sounds delightful to me, personally.
I mean, I think it was to scare my grandmother, but she also threw a bullfrog in my bathtub. The famous
Oh yeah,
story.
yeah. So you have like an aunt Rhonda from New Girl or something.
Yeah, Hillary is what a lady. Yeah, she's my maternal aunt, and she is like super butch but straight, and yeah, she wears like a phone clip and cargo shorts, and she buzzes her own hair, and she loves pranks.
That is very butch.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
I've been convinced, like, as soon as I learned what a lesbian was, I was like, that's my aunt, but she likes men. So yeah, gender and sexuality are not always connected.
That's wild.
Yeah.
While I was peeing, I don't know why this popped into my head, but I remembered that like one of the main people who like one of the like early influential Mormons was named Brigham Young. And if you're gonna be one of the main like influential people in like a worldwide sex cult,
Brigham Young.
having the name Brigham Young is so funny.
It is so funny. I think I made that connection when I heard the name of that college. I was like, is that just, do they just meet? I didn't even know it was a person's name. And I heard it because Julie on Real World New Orleans, I think, or one of the first Real Worlds, went to Brigham Young, and she got kicked out of college for being on the Real World because she lived with men, even though she was a virgin. Man, that all came back to me. It all flooded me quickly.
Man, virginity is like one of the great reality TV plot points. It's in every season of every show.
I mean, you gotta
have a virgin.
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe that's what we should do with all the incels, is just make them put one in each reality TV show, you know?
Yeah. So, oh man, Benjamin, you were the one that sent me.
Yeah.
You were the one that sent me that hilarious parody of the reality show that's like, weren't you the one that sent me
Sex
that?
House?
Sex House.
Dude, Sex House is the best piece of art I've ever seen.
Wait, is this the Pornhub reality show?
No, it's The Onion did it in like the early 2000s.
Yes, I have seen this. Yeah.
It's like just like a web series. There's probably like 10 episodes that are all like 8 minutes long or something like that. And it's like, it starts out like a normal parody of like the Real World or whatever. And it becomes the most like deeply upsetting, absurd piece of art by the end of it. And it's so, everyone, respect to whoever wrote that is a fucking genius. It
is genius. It's so good. And it starts off just kind of like this.
When the mold comes in.
Oh man, and they have to kill the frogs. It's so good.
I've only seen the first couple episodes. I'll have to.
You got it. Yeah, it gets way better.
Yeah, they really like ease you into it, and then by the end of it, they're just holding your head underwater.
Man, have y'all seen the movie Splice?
No.
Oh my god, it's such a good bad sci-fi movie.
What is it?
Adrian Brody's in it, and Sarah Polley, who no one knows who she is. I think she's only in horror movies. She reminds me of Susanna. But she, I mean, I think Susanna's prettier.
I agree.
Is Adrian Brody
the pianist?
Is part of the thing with him being hot, like that you use his nose? Is that part of it?
As the dong?
Because he has the most phallic nose of any man.
He does.
I've always wondered if people are like, I really just want his nose.
I honestly think that, like, yeah, I think that big noses are attractive, and everyone's always thought that. But I think that I guess people decided they were bad because of like anti-Semitism. I don't know. But anyway, big noses rule. I don't even have a good big nose, and I'm still pro big nose. I just have a nose. I was just born with a broken nose.
I just realized that, like, my face does look a lot like those things you get at Party City with the glasses and the nose and the mustache.
It does.
Like, if you look at my nose straight on, it's that exact nose. Anyway.
All right, keep talking about Slice.
So anyway, Adrian Brody's hot, but he's hot because he's a little bit ugly. Anyway, But so they're scientists. They're like cool scientists, and they have that like emo 2009 aesthetic very much. And they're like a couple that's scientists together, and Sarah Polly rather, Elsa in the movie creates a clone of herself that's like a human, but she doesn't tell him that it's a clone of her. She says it's a donor's DNA. So she breaks the law and mixes human DNA with like fish and other DNA, and it has like wings and it can breathe underwater. It's this fucked up little baby that they make. And anyway, are y'all gonna watch the movie? It came out in 2009, so are we okay with spoilers?
Yes.
Yeah, spoil it, but I think I do want to watch it. This sounds
well. Then I'm not going to spoil it.
No, spoil it. I'll still.
Okay. Yeah. So they make this weird baby, and then the baby grows rapidly because it sells for whatever reason. It keeps getting older and older, and bigger and bigger, and it's got
time is the reason.
No, it gets old fast. Like it becomes a toddler in like days, and then it becomes an adult in like weeks.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to get it pretty soon.
Keep going. And so, at first, Sarah Polly's really maternal to it, hasn't admitted it's her DNA. And all of this, they do all this to synthesize this protein.
Yeah.
And anyway, so she like puts makeup on her. They name her Dren, which is nerd backwards, which is insane.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Dren.
Anyway, Adrian Brody fucks the baby fish chicken woman.
Why?
And then
how old does the baby fish chicken woman look?
With his penis. And then Dren changes sex when she becomes like a murderess, because at first she's like really cute. She just like kills a cat, eats a rabbit here and there, but she's usually nice. And
this is just Bunnicula.
Give me a girl who's really cute but eats a rabbit every once in a while.
And also they definitely intentionally make her kind of hot and they definitely like it's so weird because she's their child and Adrian Brody has sex with her. Anyway, so she's only physically related to his wife, but still, it's so gross. It's extremely gross. And then Dren changes sex and rapes Elsa and kills everyone else. And then the movie ends with Elsa pregnant, and she's going to give birth to the fish baby daughter fucker.
Can you explain to me what the message is here?
Wild movie.
What's your takeaway? Like, what is the moral of the story? This sounds incoherent. Why?
I mean, I definitely skip forward for the good parts. I definitely only highlighted the good parts.
What's the fish woman's motivation?
I mean,
if you were playing her,
they made her, and she's just doing what comes natural,
which is be cute, eat rabbits, and rape. Eat hot chip and rape.
Eat hot chip, rape mom, and fly. Oh man.
Okay, so
I don't know why, but when you said Dren, it made me remember that like awful Twitter lady Gwen Snyder, and just if her name was Dren, it'd be so much better.
It would. Oh man.
So I think that the time has finally come for us to watch movies together and then recap them together on the podcast.
I agree.
Because we need some sort of common experience to talk about.
I'll even watch a Fast and the Furious movie, but I think someone else has done it by now.
Wait, really? Who?
I heard someone else I heard another podcast talk about it.
Okay.
They didn't do it like we plan on doing it.
I'll watch.
Me and Jeff and Luke might do it.
Okay. Well, if you don't, then we should do it.
I mean, if y'all are actually down.
I don't care anymore. I just want to. Yeah. We just need to do something here,
dude. All right, for next week. Can we do it for next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna watch it separately or together?
We can do that plug-in thing.
Yeah.
Where we all watch it together.
We can do that. I'm just asking which would be better.
Wait, how would we?
I think it'd be better to do it separately. Doesn't it only work
for like Netflix or something? Yeah, let's do it separately. Okay. So we're starting with the first one?
Yeah.
I just watched the first one, but I guess I have to rewatch it.
Wait, why? So
I watched it like 6 months ago.
we've had this idea for longer than 6 months, right?
I told you when I did this that I watched it to see if I liked the movie.
And you did not.
Yeah, I did not.
Why not?
That's why I said I'd watch the second one. Have y'all all seen the first one?
I think I have.
I don't think I've seen. I mean, I've like seen like bits.
Oh, you haven't even seen these? How did I not pick up on that?
Yeah, I don't. The point is not that they're good. All right. Anyway, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
What if we picked a genre also? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I just listened to the Scaredy Cats horror show or whatever that the Reply All guys did, and I thought it was really good. And basically all they do is recap the movie and like try and reconstruct the plot in conversation and talk about. So like, is there a genre that
I'm trying to no cap the movie? I'm sorry. Keep going.
That was good. I'm gonna keep that in.
It wasn't.
I'm gonna keep that in.
That's fine.
I
don't care about anything anymore.
I'm gonna keep it in, but then right after I'm gonna add a sound effect, pew, 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 like that, so that people know that it's funny. Anyway, yeah. Do you guys have a genre that you are interested in?
I mean, I like only like horror movies.
Damn, I fucking hate horror movies.
I love horror movies. I mean, that's like easily.
No, I like other movies. I mean, I don't know. I would like to, after we decide this, I would like to amend my statement that I only like bad movies, because I watched Taxi Driver again the other night since the first time since high school, and I think I watched good movies when I was too young to appreciate them.
Yeah.
Because, like, I like good movies. I just don't like every single movie that's considered good, and I only like movies if they're entertaining to me. Like, I can't just appreciate a movie for like the way they shoot things. Like, I have to be invested in it. Anyway,
no, I agree.
But I don't hate all good movies. I also like some bad movies that I find good that other people would say were bad.
What if we watch every Woody Allen movie in order?
Let's see. I mean, I don't know why we can't just pick movies that seem good and just
all right.
Like
we can do that. I think that there should be
the most boring idea.
Yeah, we're gonna be a film podcast, like a sincere film podcast.
Yeah,
well,
Goodfellas is tight.
Not like the best movies in the world, like movies that aren't necessarily super popular already.
What if we only watched movies for which there are dorm room posters? You know what I mean? Like,
that's just as bad as my idea.
I think my mate. All right, whatever. I'm just spitballing here, you know?
That's a better idea.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so literally Goodfellas.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
I literally had a
Boondock Saints. Dude, this is a great idea. Boondock Saints, Goodfellas. What else? I've seen Goodfellas 47 times, but okay, I'll watch Goodfellas again. But there's also
Wait, no, you guys, I had you on the ropes with the.
I know you, dude. We bobbed and we bobbed and we.
Fucking rope it out my ass out of this.
No, I mean I think that's still the leading candidate. I'm just spitballing here. What are some other?
We're just planning the podcast now.
I know. I'll probably cut this part. But what are we gonna do? Talk about it later? What? Talk to each other any other time? Pff, no. Yeah. Okay. Well, we could talk about it later. But for next week, we should do something like this.
I was gonna probably hit up Ben Katzner to see if he wants to do tomorrow, next week.
Who is this?
He's funny.
He's a comic. He's from Minneapolis, but I didn't really know him much there. I've only met him a few times, but he's hilarious, and
okay.
I don't know. He would fit in with this podcast.
Word. Well. Cool. Well, we have plenty of time to burn. I think we still got like a good 10 minutes, especially if we're going to cut that last part.
Yeah.
So
and we've only been doing it for like an hour and 15 minutes.
That's right. I know it feels like so much longer.
No, I mean, usually we don't have. I feel like that was like a good, fast-paced conversation.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't need to cut much, really.
Yeah, just the podcast planning part. I got a yoga mat.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing yoga because I hurt myself every time I move now.
Have you not done yoga before?
Nope.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm very inflexible, and so it's getting to the point where like all my muscles are just like incredibly stiff, so all my tendons just rip constantly.
Do you have like a regimen you're trying to do?
I think I'm going to do yoga for cyclists because that's the main mobility stuff that I need to figure out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then just a general like basically I need to find yoga for old people with osteoporosis or something like something for old people who need to be flexible or else their bones will shatter.
I mean, I think that's just yoga. Just don't start with like handstands and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yoga's hard, but I've only done yoga a few times, but I do Pilates, which is like my coworker gave me her Pilates account login, and it rules. It's like yoga, but it's just like more like targeted towards looking hot, but it's a lot like yoga. There's a lot of like stretching and deep breathing that makes it like really restorative and nice.
I want to look hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's for long, lean muscles, which don't exist, and I hate when women talk like that.
Right.
But honestly, you get quote-unquote long, lean muscles from everything except for lifting, and if you don't lift a lot, then you will also not get bulky muscles. So
right.
Everyone's stupid.
Everyone is stupid. Yeah. Do you guys have an internet yoga video series that you like?
Izzy does that like yoga with Adrian. It's like
everyone's obsessed with that.
That's what I was planning on doing. If you have another idea, that's fine. But and then when COVID's over, I'm gonna go to yoga classes and be real stinky in a room with a bunch of stinky ladies. You know.
Nice.
I don't know. Yoga's tight. It's like I think a lot of the like online shit, I guess I don't really know that well, but I feel like most of the online shit is like 20-minute videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you go to a class, it's like an hour.
Yeah.
And that like you feel like fucked up. Like you get like a runner's high or like the like endorphins you get from like lifting or shit like that. Like you get a very specific kind of that if you do yoga for like a whole hour. So I would say just do it for like a long time.
Okay.
Because like it just feels like you're not doing anything, and then you like hit a point where you're like, holy shit, I feel like different, like a completely different body than I had earlier today. If you do it for like long enough.
Does it make you horny?
That's probably how you hurt yourself. I'm probably just giving you the like hurt yourself advice. But if you want to get fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Get stoned too.
I just recovered from a knee injury, and that was fucking up my cycling training stuff. And then as soon as I got home, I went to the cabin for 2 weeks, and then as soon as I got back, I was like almost healed on my left leg, and then removing a foot from my pants, I pulled a hamstring on the other side. So I'm just perpetually fucking injured. So I gotta get it under control. The hamstring injury healed up pretty quickly, and I have been slamming the bicycle. But
it's crazy that just if you see someone who's like over 28, they're physically in pain.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. I'm going to get real limber though, and then I'll be immortal. That's my goal.
Dude, old people must hurt so bad if like I feel like this.
Yeah.
Like 60-year-olds must just like feel terrible.
Yeah, and you get all those other health problems.
Oh yeah,
like
speaking of
arthritis.
Speaking of health problems, what have you gotten? There was like a period of time where you were freaked out about like rheumatoid arthritis or whatever. Have you figured out what it is?
That's still like very possible that I have some kind of autoimmune disorder. I mean, the test results came back like the only thing that was weird was I had a positive anti-nuclear antibodies test, which is like all my other blood work was normal though. So he said it was not likely I had rheumatoid arthritis, but that doesn't rule out all autoimmune disorders. But the fact that my scleritis, like the eye thing I had cleared up so easily, like the fact that it went away in 2 weeks, he was like, well, maybe it was a fluke. the ANA could have been like a fluke too. We'd have to do it again. So I have to get another series of blood work done. I went to my primary care physician, and I have Raynaud's phenomenon. That thing
Susanna
where, like,
has that too.
Yeah. So she was like, that could be, she was like, there's the phenomenon and there's the disease. And so if you have the disease, it usually means that you have like something worse. Also, the disease itself is bad. So she was like, we have to, she has to get my blood work from my eye doctor. And then I'm going back on 9/11, September 11th. I'm going back to get more blood work done to see if I have, a fucked up body. And how.
Man, since I've never been to the doctor, like when people start talking about blood work, I'm like picturing like state of the art, like cryogenic chamber shit. But some people just go to the doctor, I guess.
I just picture
I
like
haven't been
tarot
to a primary
cards.
care doctor since I was like 24, so it was like new to me to have someone who just asked me what bothers me, and I found out it's not normal to have like chest pains every day and to get like dizzy every time I stand up. But she did my EKG and my blood work and everything, and I have good kidneys, good liver, good blood. I'm not anemic.
You have the dopest liver ever created.
My liver was just, I think I was born with like a lab-made liver.
I think probably what happened was that you started drinking a lot because you were born congenitally too sober, and you're just trying to you're just trying to feel what everybody else feels all the time, just normal.
Yeah, because even though it makes sense that my liver would be okay now because like it's had a long time to recover because I like haven't drank in a while really, or haven't gotten like super drunk in a while. Yeah. But like I got blood work done at school when I was like at the peak of my alcoholism. And they were like, wow, you're so healthy. I was like, I was so expecting them to be like, so you're dying. Yeah. But they were like, yeah, you're super healthy. What is your secret? And I was like, 2 bottles of wine a day, maybe, and a box of Cheez-Its.
Every time I go get blood work done, I have like biomarkers for liver damage. And I'm like, should I do anything about that? And they're like, I mean, are you going to stop drinking? Because no one ever does, so why would I even suggest it? Literally, I mean, like
the doctors are like, no.
It doesn't get better when you've cut back so significantly. It doesn't get better when you've cut back a lot.
I think it probably is better. Yeah, I've cut back so significantly that last night I tried to drink one scotch and I almost threw up. Like I didn't get drunk. It just felt gross, and it was like nice scotch. I'm like I've gone too far in the other direction. And I need to. I did drink constantly every night while we were out of town with Susanna's parents, but
it's vacation.
Yeah. Did I tell you guys what our system was going up? So before we went up, we isolated for 2 weeks. We did one big grocery shop. Susanna masterminded the whole thing. It was very ingenious, and she like did meal planning for 2 weeks, so we wouldn't have to basically leave the house at all for 2 weeks because, like I said to you guys, like if we went up there and then her parents got COVID, I would have to kill myself, whether or not it was my fault. It would just like the possibility of it would be unbearable. So we were really, really careful. We were so careful that when we drove up, we didn't even go into a gas station to pee. We peed into quart containers, plastic quart containers in the car. I like to think that Mary Devon's the inspiration for this. And and we would like cover ourselves in a sheet in the back seat and just pee into a quart container. On the way back, we were less careful, and we just wore N95 masks into gas stations.
You just put on Klan hoods every time you had to.
You probably wouldn't get it from like the limited time in the bathroom, but it's still very good of you to be that careful.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not selfless. I would be so upset. Yeah. But then we went up there and we fucking canoed and we hiked and shit, and it was nice. It was me, Susanna, her sister, her 2 parents, and 3 pets in a cabin.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Did y'all at least have your own bedroom?
We did, yes. So we slept in cots side by side in like her dad's like extra little cabin room or whatever. But it was I like to have a lot of alone time. I don't know if you guys know this about me.
Yeah.
And I had zero for 2 weeks, and I at one point was so overwhelmed that I just started crying. I just like sat in the room and I just cried. I was like, this is too much. I'm overstimulated. Oh, also it was great. Her family was very generous and like took good care of us or whatever. And but also like it was 5 fucking people with all their like. So basically for every new person you add to a group that is trapped in a cabin, you're not adding like one additional stimulus. Every one of them has a dynamic with every other of them. Do you know what I mean? So there's like, it's less like you're in a room with 5 people, like you're in a room with like 5 factorial complicated relationships. You know what I mean? So like, it was extremely stressful. And then also one of the dogs has a bone that she would throw up in the air and land on the wood floor over and over again for hours. So it was just like, yeah. So my mind slowly came apart. I eventually got the hang of it, and I did some good canoeing. I like canoes. I have found I like canoes and I like hiking, which are 2 things that I did not know I liked.
I want to. You want to go in on a kayak? I brought this up a couple weeks ago, but
I do not know. I have to talk to Sam because he has extended an offer of whenever I want a kayak, he can hook me up. So.
Jeff said yes, but I think we should all get like a couple kayaks.
Yeah,
and just have community kayaks.
How much do they cost?
I probably won't be doing that for a while, but
yeah. After Javier's harrowing tale of getting bayou water in his mouth and then throwing up.
Yeah, I'm not going to go in the bayou right now. Yeah. Like even in a kayak.
Yeah. But how much do kayaks cost?
I don't know, man. Like I talk to people who have them and they're like, I got to use one for like $200, and that doesn't seem possible. Like they seem really expensive unless you get like the inflatable ones, which seems kind of like a pain in the ass.
Right.
But I don't know. I want to be on a boat. Can't do anything now, so may as well be at sea.
Yeah.
So where did you guys go? Where you stayed in a cabin for like $100 a night or whatever, MD?
It was $150, which is expensive, but it was like really, really nice.
And you said that there were like a bunch of bunk beds, right?
Yeah, there was like enough sleep. There was like enough to sleep like 6 people.
That's perfect.
Yeah, but it was Tickfaw State Park.
Mm.
The state park is not that nice. Like the trails are just like muddy and full of spiders, but it's an hour away from Tunica, which is closed, or at least it was, but we still went. I mean, it doesn't matter. There were still a ton of people there.
What are they going to do? Turn off the waterfall?
Yeah. I mean,
you can't close the woods.
Yeah, I mean, it like we just thought it meant that it was closed to cars because the only thing blocking you is like a gate that like you can just walk around.
Right.
Like it's not. And then there's a weird sign that like the way it's worded, it says you can't come in here if you do have a permit. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then when I say there was a ton of people, I mean there were like 3 other cars. We only ran into people twice. So COVID-wise, it was super safe.
Right.
But anyway, so Tunica is also only like an hour and a half or 2 hours away from New Orleans anyway. But it was just nice to like not be at our house. And we were actually thinking if we do it again, we would probably anyway. But the cabin itself was nice. And then you have like a grill and you have like a beautiful screen porch. So it would be a fun place to go with like friends and like, yeah,
shrooms.
If
everyone had like isolated before and felt safe.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I camped at Tunica a couple times, but one time in the summer and we were just in a tent, and that was the hottest I've ever been in my entire life.
Yeah,
it's cool because if you get delirious enough in the woods, you don't even have to do drugs.
Yeah.
That sounds safe. Yeah.
And also like, it's just pretty. Like you can just, if you're not looking for like something, like we weren't looking for like this beautiful outdoor experience. We just wanted to be at a place that wasn't our house, and just like walking around the park was nice. And there's raccoons everywhere, and they're really cute, and they're not afraid of people. One of them almost got up on the table. like I had to clap because he kept on like getting closer and closer,
Oh,
and he
yeah, I think I
eventually
saw
put
the
his
video.
little hands up. Huh?
I said I think
Did
I
I
saw
tell
the
you guys
video.
about the possum that lives on our porch?
No.
Yes.
No.
We got two separate answers. Anyway, there's a possum that lives on the porch, and it is completely comfortable with people. Like I poked it with a broom, and it didn't move. It just kept looking at me with its horrible possum face. And I think that cats think it's just an ugly cat because they don't mind at all.
I thought that our house did not have vermin really, but Tippy stayed with Sam for 2 weeks, and then when we got back, before we got Tippy back in the house, Susanna saw like a mouse like scurry in the kitchen or whatever. So apparently Tippy's just been keeping those fuckers at bay, and so now she spends, I'm not exaggerating, 90% of her time like lying next to the trash can and just staring at the stove. Like,
oh my God.
So they're in there, man. They're behind there. I think there's got to be some kind of aperture there that stuff gets through, because we had the baby possum that I told the story about before too. Oh, and before I forget, do you guys want to? Can I plug the podcast voicemail? I haven't done that yet. I've had it for like 2 months.
Yes.
Okay, so the podcast voicemail is 504-224-8231. I got to figure out what that is.
Wait, say it slower.
504-224-8231. Hold on, I want to see what does my phone number spell. I want to see if it spells anything good. What does it do? Phonespell.org. Not enough digits. Fuck you. 504-224-8231. Call 1-50-HA-CHUB-31. Let's see.
Wait, you cut out. What does it spell?
50-HA-CHUB-31. Let me.
That's a total accident, right?
That's
yes.
That's if you got half of chubby, half hard, 31 years old. Call this podcast.
Let's see. This is 504 bait a 31. There's also bait B1. These are all our number. I think A-CHUB-31 is probably my favorite. Call 504 A-CHUB-31. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be if I eat too much food, because I'm 31 years old. I'm cutting that. Anyway, yeah, call the voicemail.
Ask us whatever you want.
We will give you advice.
My mom and the only person who listens to this, ask why I haven't called you.
Yeah, I will. I don't know about you guys. I will offer advice, and my tagline is, if you don't like the advice, I will Venmo you $2. So that it is free advice that you can make money off of if you hate it.
I'll give you advice for sure. I'm not gonna pay. I won't give you any money.
No, that's okay.
It's just gonna be to do drugs about it. That's gonna be my advice every time. But hey, maybe it won't.
Oh, MD, how's your new therapist? Are you still going to the same?
Great.
Can I call her, or would that be weird if we had the same therapist?
No, I don't mind if we have the same therapist.
That would actually be funny.
Recommend her to everyone.
Okay.
She's just like, what I need out of therapy is like, I mostly just need someone to like be an arbiter of like what is insane and like what is legitimate that I'm feeling.
Right.
And I've talked to her about online an embarrassing amount.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is like, anyway, I had a really great conversation with her yesterday about like, anyway,
Charlotte
I can't
Clymer.
really say what it was, but it was good. Yeah. I needed it.
Okay. Well, what can you think of anything that like you've been like, I feel this way, and she's like, no, that's insane. Like, has she?
Yeah.
What?
So I was telling her about how I basically when I feel like someone says something, whether they say it in person, usually it's online, that's like
This is
something
about
that's
Mindy.
No, it isn't. Oh, no, it's not.
Okay.
It's actually
That's a different version of it.
Yeah, this was like this was another day online, but it was people being judgmental about like anyone doing anything for COVID, even when I think that they're wrong, and the things being like, someone tweeted like, if anyone goes on a road trip, they're a murderer. You could be passing it from town to town, getting gas. Right. And I'm like, that's not how you fucking spread COVID. Like, you don't get it, and don't lick a gas pump, but like, for God's sakes, like, that's not how you're getting it. So anyway.
Sometimes you're horny though.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you go to a gas station and you shotgun weed into the cashier's mouth?
So anyway, because Jeff and I drove an hour for 3 days, I am now so deeply defensive towards everyone I see, like, being critical at all. And I don't know why it bothers me. And basically just that applies to everything. Like, anything someone makes fun of that I do, ranging from like serious stuff to nothing, just gets under my skin. And it's basically because she was like, so when you do this to other people, you expect them to understand. Like, she was like, so basically, I don't give people the credit that I give myself.
Right.
Or I give and also when it's my friends doing it and I don't feel comfortable having a conversation, but I would expect them to come to me. It's because I am like lying to people all the time, but expect them to tell me the truth.
Right. So she was basically like, look, I read your Twitter bio for 3 months ago where you said, if I like you, I'm not talking about you. And why can't you extend the same to other people?
That was a day where I was like, the week before last, I was like specifically kind of out of problems. And I also think like she's just given good advice about other things that a lot of our conversations have been very specific, and I don't want to get into it, but she's good at like, she's good at convincing yourself. She's good at convincing you to, anyway.
What does she say about me?
I've talked to her about the podcast, but she's not interested. She also, like one time I mentioned the podcast and then she asked me to clarify something I'd said earlier. And I was like, oh, it's called No Pods, No Cast. And then she laughed. She was like, I'm not asking about your podcast.
What have you said to her about the podcast?
I don't know. Just that I was just telling her, this was in our like intake.
Yeah.
And I was like telling her about things that like occupy my time and thoughts.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My therapist also doesn't care about my podcast. It's,
dude, our generation sucks.
Oh man.
Man, I want to go to war.
Yeah. Well, so are we watching Fast and Furious for next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll hit up Ben Kastner about it.
Give him the homework.
Yeah, or like, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get like a 4 or 5 week schedule.
Word.
That we actually stick to.
Okay. Should I ask Alex Patak for the 4th time?
No.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
100%.
All right. We should do it. Okay, that's fine. We shouldn't do it too far in advance, I think, for him. That's my instinct, is that if we schedule it for a month in advance, he'll just forget. But anyway, okay. We should call it.
Okay. I want to say something when you're done recording.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it? I'll tell. I know what it's going to be. All right. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Call the number, which is 504-224-8231. Also, 504 A-CHUB-31. All right. And goodbye.
Wow.